Let's do one more. Cool. Same neural network architecture. I didn't have to change anything. I did not even have to change the data preprocessing pipeline. I just took another data set, and here is a data set of around about 7,000 songs in the heavy metal genre. If you look closely, or maybe you can really see it here, a couple of sub-genres, so I had a couple of labels to sort them in different categories. And I use this artificial intelligence to compose 3 albums. So I asked the AI, please generate me a couple of pieces, like tiny little pieces of music, then maybe make it a little longer, maybe a little shorter, maybe add 1 or 2 more instruments, and then take those pieces into my digital audio workstation, and then I turn that into entire songs. So that's the trouble. This AI is not capable of creating an entire song. It's usually something like 4 bars, 16 bars, but it does not start with an intro, it doesn't go into the refrain, it doesn't go into the verse, no chorus, no outro, etc. That's what I see. So AI gives me quite a lot of raw material to work with, and then I turn this raw material into something more sophisticated with high quality. So it's still very important concept, human in the loop. Although I build systems where you just push a button and you wait a couple of seconds and you get an entire song, I don't find this to be very appealing. On the other hand side, if you have a chance of working with an AI on a piece of music, it is mind blowing. You know that? A few of you, I think, have worked with Midjourney, with ChatGPT and so on and so forth. You see it's a dialogue. You go back and forth. You let the AI generate something based on the prompt, then you say, yeah, please can you refine that, can you rephrase that, and go back and forth. The consequence of that is it increases both your productivity and your creativity. Productivity, because you have faster results, high quality in no time, and also creativity, because it opens your own mind towards new ideas. Well, here, I have no chance to, maybe I would, be quite some time to test. Listening to 7,000 heavy metal songs and understanding the underlying patterns is for a single person way too complicated. Always AI, which I trained for, I think, 1 day, a little bit more data, longer training. It's like you're now playing with around about 400 different musicians. Because all are in the data set, all of them can give you some inspiration. Or it's called a jam session to get those information. Let's do one more. What about different genres? Are black metal fans here? You want black metal? You get black metal. Let's try. You see it now, the mood is going down. I see. And that's the amazing thing, that although it doesn't, the AI didn't have that many samples per genre, it managed to different genres.
I have a question. Are we in the waveform or in symbolic?
This is the symbolic thing. I have some waveform for you.
Okay, so what's the thing?
MIDI files.
So you have like black metal MIDI files.
Yes.
Out there.
Yes,
okay.
They are there.
Alright.
Speaking of which, let's play that one. I mentioned around about 400 songs by Johann Sebastian Bach, heavy metal 7,000 songs, and I was blessed that, I think it was last year, I had a 3-month cooperation with NVIDIA, where they asked me, do you need some GPU compute? And I said, well, I have an idea. I got a DJX2 station, DJX2s with 16 GPUs, and then I just trained one data set after another. And for me, it was just amazing because I could scale the whole thing. So you start as a young person with 400 songs by Johann Sebastian Bach, and then I could scale it up to 400,000 MIDI. 400,000 songs. All genres, not this, not that, everything. It contained rock music, hip-hop is in there, classical music, ethnical music, you name it, synth-pop, all in it. And well, the thing that I did here is that I kind of artificially, like prompt engineering, I restricted it to synth-pop, to synthetic music, but I also could do a tiny little more prompt engineering, and it would also do that. The cool thing about this one is it has a certain trick. This is well for musicians. If you compose music, you can just put in some notes, and you start another instrument, you add some more notes, and you hope that it sounds well. This is why you can all judge, because I think I can show you music, and you can immediately say, does it sound good, does it sound bad? And you can survive your way in composition by just following your heart if you were exposed to quite a lot of music as a young person. On the other hand side, when it comes to music theory, which are those rules that are behind composition, you could start with a symbolic chord progression, C major, G minor, and so on and so forth, and then you follow that chord progression and add a melody and a bass line. This AI is fine-tuned, it's trained on it. So first, it knows the chord progression, just symbolic, and then the notes of different instruments. This gives you quite some expressive power, because you can, for every generation, you can ask it to go into a different chord progression, and it will compose the notes for that. It's for musicians a very, very powerful tool, and I like this. Data pre-processing of those 400,000 MIDI files took on the NVIDIA hardware 30 hours on 96 CPUs. It's not stochastic gradient descent, it's just taking the MIDI files and mapping them to text files. So 30 hours on this computer, 96 CPUs, which is huffing and puffing. On the Mac, I did the math, it would have been 2 weeks huffing and puffing, maybe in my kitchen, because I couldn't have it in another room. The training itself on 16 GPUs took 1.5 weeks. And then those 3 months of cooperation were not really over. They asked me, do you want to have more time? I said no. Because my problem was that I'm still sitting on quite a lot of models that I trained, and I could only test a handful. Well, the near future, we already agreed, those are something like MIDI files, so symbolic music generated. You still have to run it through the pipeline in order to get the sound. You have to put it in the digital audio workstation, you have to sing it, you have to play it. This is why it sounds a little bit computer gamey. Because in the background is a sound font, which is some instrument that was used in computer games, just for us to get an idea of where we are moving, but still it's not high quality. It's computer games music, but if you change the instruments to something more sophisticated, it will work like a charm and have a lot of fun. Now I'll try something. Those are demos that I work a lot with, and I try to show you, well, the near future I'm working on with a couple of other people. Diffusion models, anyone? Have you heard about diffusion models? Midjourney, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, good things. The main idea of diffusion models is that, well, in order to get a data set, we crawl the internet and get a lot of pictures. And then we take a picture and we add a little noise to it, a little more noise, until you have the thing that you remember. In the old age, we turned on the not connected to the antenna TV, we saw this wall of ants noise. And what a diffusion model does, it undoes that. So it takes a noisy picture and removes the noise so that they get a high quality picture. It can even remove noise from noise only and turn it into a picture. So when you run Midjourney, when you run DALL-E, when you run Stable Diffusion, it is a diffusion model that goes from noise, multiple steps, to picture, and it's piggybacked by a language model. The prompt goes through a language model and then steers removing noise. The beautiful thing in digital signal processing is when it comes to the underlying data structure, sound of a piece of music is fairly close to the picture. The difference is the picture has 2 dimensions, 3 channels, and the sound has 1 dimension and has 1 or 2 channels, maybe 5, 7, 8. But at the end of the day, it's also a waveform. Picture is a waveform in 2 directions, the sound is a waveform in 2 directions. What this AI does is, it is trained on a data set that are crawled. This is a small data set, I'm scaling this up. 70 hours of audio data. We heard some singing, there was Russian Orthodox singing in it. There's also Tibetan monks singing, throat singing. There's something like light meditation music, some ambient music in it. So what I'm currently doing, and that's also the near future, not only of what I'm doing, but people are working on this, for example, Harmonine, is exactly that. That in the near future, you will be able of writing a prompt, and it would generate a piece of audio, a piece of music for you. Maybe, or hopefully, in long context, and also with high quality. Currently, we are in a resolution of 48K, so resolution of the sound is studio quality, and the generation of those pieces of music not in this example, but there are papers that are already in the minutes range. So we're fairly close to you sitting down and writing a prompt, getting a piece of music, maybe an entire piece of music, I think is just around the corner. Because we have seen the progression of GPT, how fast this is, and we have seen the progression of Midjourney and Stable Diffusion. I still have one notebook somewhere, which is GQCAM plus Flip, which was in that direction. You provide a prompt and you get some blurry, colorful image. And now it's on Midjourney 1.5, no, 5.5, version number 5, which is really, really high quality content. Well, I expect that the whole thing with AI, music generation, is maybe going to converge in maybe 2 years. Really, really around the clock. Thank you very much. This is the way.
Boric Data Masterclass, where great data journeys begin.